5 Good afternoon, welcome to VANIK-IAS. We'll discuss current affairs of 13 June and first we'll discuss objective questions. Okay. First, narrow patent claims are specific to one particular invention in a product and consist of more elements or limitations than product claims. First question, contrary to the following statements. Narrow patent claims are specific to one particular invention. Yes, they are specific to one particular invention. In a product and consist of more elements or limitations than product claims. Yes, this is right. Section 3 of Indian Patents Act excludes the discovery of a new form of known substance that does not result into enhancement of the known efficacy of that substance. This is also right. Section 3 of Indian Patent Act prevents evergreening of patents and allowed generic competition by patenting one novel genuine invention. Okay. So the question is regarding evergreening. Evergreening means suppose a particular company is given patent, then what happens usually after 10 years? Suppose a particular company who has invented a medicine is given patent for 10 years, and after 10 years usually what they do, they will make slight change in the composition and they will say that we have reinvented it, right, and we have developed the efficacy, and please give us patent for 10 more years. So usually that is not that is called as evergreening, and that is illegal in India, and that is not allowed in India. Indian government only grants patent after 10 years if there is significant improve in the efficacy of that particular medicine, right? That process is called as evergreening. So that is in section 3, right? So section 3 it prevents evergreening, right? It doesn't allow evergreening and allows for generic competition. Generic medicines can be created after 10 years of the invention. So here all the three options are right. 1, 2, 3 all are the right answer. Here option is D, all of the above. Next question. Then consider the following statements. A particular political party can be elected to lower house. Candidates of a particular political party can be elected to lower house based on their party's strength in the state legislative assembly. Yes, it is related to election to Lok Sabha. So based on their strength of a particular political party, it elects the candidates to the so this is not lower house, this is upper house, right? Can be elected to the lower house based on their party strength in the state level. It is not lower house, it's upper house. Rajya Sabha is the upper house. Right? A candidate requires a specified number of first preference votes to win, and each vote has a value of 100. See, this value is not 100. Let me tell you how Rajya Sabha seats Rajya Sabha votes numbers are decided. First thing is that suppose there is in a state there is political, there is a mm, there are hundreds, there is total 100 two political parties. This is political party 1 P1, and there is another political party which has a member of 60, right? Political party 1 has 100 legislative 100 MLAs, and political party 2 has 60 MLAs, right? Then how they will decide, then how they will um, what will the total number of for example this is 40, right? For example this is 40, and in total number of Rajya Sabha seats are 3. So there is Rajya Sabha seats are 3. Total number of Rajya Sabha seats are 3. And how the vote will be, number of vote will be decided, right? So to in such a case, what is the minimum number of vote a particular candidate require? He requires 1, that is 100 plus 40 by 3 plus 1, right? This is plus 1. This much of votes, that is around, this is 140 by 4. 35 plus 1, that is equal to 36. So 36 number of votes required by a particular MLA by for a particular leader to get into Rajya Sabha. P1 is a total number of MLAs in political party 1. P2 is the total number of MLAs in political party 2. So and there are total 3 number of Rajya Sabha seats. Then this is the calculation, right? 100 plus 40 plus 3 plus 1 plus 1, that is 36. Minimum 36 votes are required to get into Rajya Sabha. Okay. Javari is recent western section of Brazilian Amazon, located in Javari River, on the country border with Peru. Yes, it is near the border of Peru and Brazil, right? Of Amazon rainforest. This was in news. Why this was in news? Because there is a journalist who is missed in that in Amazon uh, that western location of Amazon, or that is Valle do Javari, that is a Amazon rainforest in Brazilian rainforest, very deep rainforest, right? Where isolated people of world cities, but some tribals who are completely isolated from the mainstream are living there. So one of the British journalists is gone missing in that region. That's why it is in news. From countries border, that is Peru is right answer. Himba and Kayaku are indigenous tribal groups. Yes, they are indigenous tribal groups of Brazil, right? Their tribal groups are Brazil, but it is Itaquai River runs through this region. No, that is region in the that runs in upper basin of Amazon, right? That region the upper Amazon basin, not in case of western section. So A is the answer. Okay, next. Consider the following statements regarding Doha Declaration TRIPS Agreement on Public Health. It recognizes public health problems such as HIV, AIDS, tuberculosis, malaria affecting developed and developing and least developed countries. Uh, no, it has not recognized. Actually, it was proposing for COVID-19. It is not proposed for HIV, AIDS, or tuberculosis. Each member of WTO has a right to grant compulsory licenses. Yes, compulsory licenses and freedom to determine the grounds upon which such licenses are granted, right? Compulsory license means in case of emergency situation. In case of emergency situation, a particular government can grant compulsory licenses to a particular company. Suppose, for example, uh, in case of our Covishield, right? If government of India wanted, they could have set the formula on the other pharmaceutical companies based on based on the principle that it is an emergency situation. So two only answer is the right answer. It has not recognized HIV/AIDS or tuberculosis. Consider the following statements regarding Indian National Space Promotion and Authorization Center. Indian National Space Promotion and Authorization Center in space. It will act as an autonomous body under Department of Science and Technology and as a single window nodal agency for enabling regulating space activities, the uses of ISRO facilities. Yes, autonomous body in space. The decision in space shall be final and binding on all stakeholders, including ISRO, that is also right, and non-government private entities. NGP will not be required to seek separate permission from ISRO. Non-government private entities will not be required to seek separate permission from ISRO. So all the statements are right. Consider the following statements regarding United Nations Conference of Trade and Development. It is a ad hoc, it is a government intergovernmental body established under UN and headquarters at Addis Ababa. No, this is not in Addis Ababa. This is in Switzerland, Geneva, Switzerland. It's an intergovernmental body, right? Even UNCTAD, it is an intergovernmental body. That is in. It's a permanent, not ad hoc, right? It's a permanent intergovernmental body. Permanent intergovernmental body established at UN by the UN and UN headquarters is at Switzerland, Geneva. So it in the Geneva, right? Some of the reports, yes, it is a part of an UN Secretariat, United Nations Development Group, reports, UN Assembly and Economic Social Council. Yes, this is true. Even both UN General Assembly and Economic and Social Council. There are some reports published by UNCTAD or the UNCTAD. It is the reports are Trade and Development Report, Trade and Development Report, World Investment Report, the Least Developed Countries Report, Information and Economy Report, and Economy Report, Technology and Innovation Report, These are the reports that are published by even CTAD, whose headquarters is at so in Geneva, Switzerland, and it is a permanent intergovernmental body established by United Nations, right, to promote development friendly integration of developing countries into world economy. So to promote the developing countries, right? Next. Consider the following statements regarding startups in India. The Indian startups have been steadily growing since 2015, owing to large funding from global and domestic private equities. See, there is whenever you see such words steadily growing since 2015, no, this cannot be steadily growing because there is a pandemic issue. So obviously there is economic down, economic there is a sun. That's why this can never be steadily growing. So this is wrong. And there is not large funding from global and domestic equities because there is decline of private investment. So first statement is wrong. The staff sector the maximum number of startups in IT services followed by healthcare and education respectively. Right. Startups is the top with maximum number of startups are in IT services followed by healthcare and education respectively. So two only answer is the right answer. Are in the country with highest to lowest based on the recipients of FDI in 2021. FDI was maximum in case of USA, then in case of obviously China, then Hong Kong, then India, then Russia. Right. So maximum is obviously USA. So one is the answer. Yes, you can eliminate this two. This is two. So one is the answer. Then two. Hong Kong. It is not Hong Kong. Obviously, it is China. China can is getting more investment as compared to Hong Kong. Right. One three. So from that you are getting the answer. Then China. First United States, then China, then Hong Kong, then India, then Russia. Russia is at five. Just a second. Okay. Next. So first USA, then China, then Hong Kong, then India, then Russia. This is the series of FDI. This is the FDI recipients. And consider the following: Indian patents are governed by Indian Patent Act 1996. 1996. No, this is wrong. Indian Patent Act 1970. Indian Patent. There is Patent Act 1970 that governs Indian patent. That is Patents Act 1970. Patents Act 1970 that governs Indian patents. Right. Then the original Indian patent act didn't grant protection to pharmaceutical products. Yes, since 1971 it started with pharmaceutical products. That is right. So next, India is a party to trade related aspect to intellectual property. Yes, TRIPS and one convention of copyright. Yes, India is party to TRIPS and one convention of copyright. So two, three are right answer regarding copyright. According to Indian Patents Act, which of the following criteria is granting patent? It should be novel. Yes, it should be new, right? It should be novel. It should have inventive steps or must be non-obvious. Yes. Inventive steps, one by one, by which you are creating a medicine, right? So that you can, government will know that you are not copy pasted from a particular source. Then it should have capable of industrial application. Yes, it should have capable industrial application. So 1, 2, 3, all the options are right for granting Indian patents. So the objective question discussions over is now. Now we'll go for main topic. Now we'll go for some prelim facts. After that we'll see some main topic. Energy progress report. The tracking SDG 7, right? Sustainable Development Goal 7. That is energy progress report provides most comprehensive look available at the world's progress towards global energy targets on the access to electricity, clean cooking, renewable energy, energy efficiency, right? And also it gives international community the latest global dashboard to register the progress on SDG 7 targets. So this is SDG 7, that is energy progress report. Most comprehensive look available at the world's progress towards global energy targets on the access to electricity. The annual report is prepared by SDG indicator custodian agencies. The annual report is prepared by SDG 7 indicator custodian agencies. That is International Energy Agency, International Renewable Energy Agency, UN Statistics Division at UN Desha, World Bank, and World Health Organization. So there are multiple organizations who are preparing the index. Right. So this is energy progress report that is prepared by multiple organizations that are discussed. Now SG7. What is SG7? Tracking report includes official dashboard of global and regional and national progress on 4 key energy targets. Ensuring first thing is that universal access to electricity and clean cooking solution. Universal gas of electricity and clean cooking solution, that is according to our Ujjwala Yojana, right? By Ujjwala Yojana, we are providing clean cooking solution. So now the traditional forest dwellers or the village people, they are not fully dependent on the forest producers regarding cultivate day to day cooking of food, right? Then substantiality increasing the share of renewable energy. Renewable energy, India has achieved its target. What it has promised in Paris climate deal. Now it is aggravating, increasing its solar energy. Right. And doubling progress on energy efficiency. Yes, energy efficiency has also increased. For example, earlier we are using fluorescent bulbs. Now we are using the LED bulbs, which is much lower than the price of fluorescent bulbs. So that is increasing the energy efficiency. Increasing international collaboration and support and clean and renewable energy. International collaboration in support and clean and clean and renewable energy. Right. Increasing international collaboration. Why? Because, for example, International Solar Association, for example, many countries will combine, they will engage in research, right? So whatever they get the benefit by cause of research from various countries, what will happen? That will be shared by all the developing countries. Just a minute. Next, findings of 2022 edition of the Energy Progress Report, access achievements in the global quest for universal access of affordable, reliable, sustainable and medium energy and modern energy by 2030. At today's rate, the world is still not tracked to achieve SDG 7 goals by 2030. Right? That SDG 7 goals, Sustainable Development Goal 7, it is not in the track, right? That means a lot to do. Pace has to be increased. The technology transfer need to be facilitated. There must be increase of renewable energy by each and every country of the world must go for renewables, right? And combined efforts can make on the track to achieve SDG 7 goals. Some degree of economic recovery has taken place, but there may be slowdown as new challenges from evolving COVID variants and an energy crisis is provoked by Russian invasion and Ukraine. Two factors. One is see what if you're writing a question or anything like that. Now understand that for this year there is two factors, major factors. First is Russian invasion. For example, first is the COVID-19 post-COVID pandemic economy, and also it is continuing, right? Although COVID-19 is not completely stopped spreading. So that's one issue, and second issue is that there is a conflict between Ukraine and Russia. The report consider the consequences of evolving pandemic along with the results of global modeling, determine whether current policy ambitions can meet SDG 7 targets. That's why this report is there. It is also provide identify the additional actions that may be needed. It also examines the investments required to achieve the goals. Right. It presents scenario drawn from the International Energy Agency (IEA) World Energy Outlook 2021 and the International Renewable Energy Agency World Energy Transition Outlook 1.56 or 1.5 degrees Celsius pathway. So these are the reports that are going to be presented. Then election of president. The Election Commission has notified the election of India as 15th president. Right? Under Article 62(1), under Article 62(1), Constitution elections and in election to fill the vacancy caused by the expiration of the terms of office of president shall be completed before expiration of the term. The president is elected not directly by the people but by the members of electoral college, right? Electoral college by the members of electoral college. First is elected members of both the houses of parliament. Elected members of both the houses of parliament, elected members of both the legislative assemblies of the states, elected members of legislative assemblies of the union territories and of Delhi and Puducherry. These they will combinedly they will take their structure. They will combinedly uh, they will vote for electoral college, and then president will be elected. Remember, nominated member do not participate. Then this electoral college does not consist of nominated members of Rajya Sabha, Lok Sabha, Rajya assemblies, members of state legislative assemblies. Remember, they do not consist of nominated members of Rajya Sabha, Lok Sabha assemblies, or members of state legislative councils. So all the members are nominated, they do not participate in the election of president. And value of one vote. The votes are weighted, their value determined by the population of each state as per census 2000, census 1971. Right. The value of each vote available varies from high 208 in Uttar Pradesh to as low as 7 in Sikkim based on the number of MLAs. So value of votes is high in UP. This means that UP is 403 will contribute 208 into 403, that is 80,082 for votes to the electoral poll, while Sikkim 32 MLAs contribute 224 votes, right? 224 votes. This is the in case of Sikkim. Next. The voted votes from all assemblies are added off to 5.43 lakh. Process demand are all the 776 MPs should contribute to the same total votes as MLAs. The value of each MP's vote is 5.4 lakh divided by 776 and rounded up to 700. The combined electoral pool from the assemblies and parliament adds up to 10.86 lakhs. So this is the combined electoral pool from a particular assemblies. From assemblies and parliament up to 10.86 lakh. Okay. In 1952 and 1957, in both first and second election, Rajendra Prasad won with no contest. Then President Hussain 1969, sudden passing of President Hussain was most controversial. Under Article 65(1), Constitution Vice President VV Giri assumed office. Then there are tensions with the Congress between Prime Minister Indira Gandhi and the veterans, known as the syndicate. The tensions came to head when the party officially fielded Neelam Sanjiva Reddy, while Gandhi threw her weight behind Giri contest as an independent. So this is regarding presidential election, right? Sometimes they ask with respect to it, the historical what happened in the history with respect to election of president. Then AGNC, Turkish president warned Greece, which has been building military presence, the violation of treaties and guarantee of on-armed status of the Asian islands to demilitarize islands in the agency. The Turkish president warned the Greece to demilitarize the islands in the agency. Why? Because the ancient Ognevo agency archipelago was later applied to islands. It contains and now used to refer any island group. The agency arm of Mediterranean is located between Greek Peninsula in the west and Asia Minor in the west. Greek Peninsula in the west and Asia Minor in the west, that is where the agency is present. It is located in southern Balkan and Anatolian Peninsula between the mainlands of Greece and Turkey. it connected through Straits of Dardanelles. Remember, Straits of Dardanelles is near Sea of Marmara. That is important, very important, because of the Russia-Ukraine war, because of the disputed region that it has become a disputed region that connects Bosphorus Strait to Black Sea. It also has emerged good connection in the Indian Ocean to the west through the strait lying between the Peloponnese Peninsula of Greece and Crete, right? Peloponnese Peninsula of Greece and Crete is a connection of Indian Sea also to the west. The island of Crete has been taken as a marking and boundary on the on the south. Aegean Sea is the cradle of two great civilizations, those of Crete and Greece. From much of the modern Western civilization or culture is derived in the Aegean Sea. Aegean Sea is near the Mediterranean Sea and the Black Sea. Next question is regarding corporate social responsibility. To given everything that is needed in a corporate ethics. 2014, India became first country in the world to legislate corporate social responsibility. What is this corporate social responsibility? Suppose you have a company, you are working in a particular area, then obviously that you are polluting that environment, and you should pay something extra to the local people rather than the giving to the state government. That is 2% of the total profit of a particular company, right? 2014, India became the first country in the world with legislated corporate social responsibility under business specified criteria. Under business specified criteria, there is corporate social responsibility. Although many of the companies have dutifully tried to transfer the social sector into CSR projects such as Mahindra Group's livelihood training to the youth from marginalized sector of the society. So Mahindra has been working a lot. So those people, especially, you have to work. The particular industry has to work a lot regarding the environment of its surrounding. That is regarding planting of trees or sewage disposal, or for example, um, providing safe drinking water. These things are essential, and providing medical facilities. They should be promoted by the government in rural areas where government is not reaching. Right, government facilities are not available there. Corporate ethics is a broader idea dealing the way in which corporate ethics, especially it is a business in which a company behaves and its internal and external stakeholders, including the employees, investor, corporate regulator. A company may have a good CSR records, but may still espouse many unethical practices like tax evasion, greenwashing, and thus corporate social responsibility is just a legal conformity, not an ethical touchstone. Right. So company may be a particular company cannot be a parameter of legality because a particular person may not give 2000 of suppose may not give a from 2% of CSR, but or maybe giving 2% of CSR, but all in all other parameters it's performing wrong, and that will not solve the actual issues. So it is CSR is based on Gandhian thought of trusteeship. Trusteeship means let's be combined together. Whatever I have resources, I will use. Whatever you have resources, you will use. Both use the resources of each other, and there will be better one. Right? This is based on the trusteeship awards. Right? Both will contribute, and both will. For example, two people, two farmers, they brought per commanded they purchase a tractor. Then they both will use the tractor. Right? That is corporate social responsibility. So for today, this lecture is over. Right? Like this video, share this video, and subscribe to VANIK-IAS. Thank you.